This is the second video in our introduction to spreadsheets. Carrying on from the last example, I calculated a total, an average, learned something about formative functions and autofill. Now I'm going to learn how I can automatically enter grades. First of all, I'll give myself grade boundary. I'm working in percentages here. So 1 is 100%, 0.9, 90%, and so on. So I'm going to start in this cell. I'm going to use something called a VLOOKUP, vertical lookup. And I type in V equals VLOOKUP, and I select the data that I'll be entering, comma, the table, comma, and the column in which I want to find my grade. In this case it's 1, 2, the second column, so I put in the number 2 and bracket. This will now look up in the second column, 1, 2, the percentage, and it will find my grade. I can now also fill this down, but I run into a problem because I'm using relative cell referencing when actually I need to use absolute cell referencing here. I don't want it to copy down as I did in the last example. So what I need to do is where I have the table data, I can put a $sign in front of the numbers, and that will stop that from automatically incrementing when I also fill down. Now I can drag this down and I no longer have the problem. Another way, perhaps an easier way to get around that, is I can use a named range. I can highlight this data, I can call it my grade boundary. Grade boundary. So now I have a named range, and I come in here and I type in equals VLOOKUP. The cell in which I'll find the data, comma, and this time I want grade boundary, comma, second row, second column. So everything's the same in the formula here. K3 is where I enter my data. Now I have my lookup table here, which has a named range, and then the number 2 for the second column alone. I press enter, and I also fill down. And this just makes the absolute cell referencing a lot easier because I've got a named range. I don't have to use the $signs. And that's how to automatically get the grade to calculate. Let's look at another function that's sometimes useful. It's a COUNTIF. Sometimes we want to count and find out equals COUNTIF bracket. My range is going to be this column here. And I'm going to try and count, so I put a comma in, I'm going to count number of B's. So that's my criteria. You see range and then criteria. So I put in bracket, oops, wrong bracket. Put in bracket and enter, and format for percent. I take the percentage formatting off, go back here, and I have 13 B's. So sometimes in data there might be some type of data you need to count, and that's called a COUNTIF. So the range of functions available, there's a large number of functions available here, and that's some of the more common ones. Let's find out who are our more able pupils and least able pupils. And we're going to do this by highlighting the entire data set, and we'll select data and we will sort it. We can sort it in ascending or descending order. And if I say I have data headers, that means the first rows I can use these names here. So I have named ranges. So I'm going to sort it in descending order according to the average. And now the top pupils come at the top, followed by the bottom pupils. I will now add another level to this sort by adding a level, and this time I'll look at my names, or maybe my departments. So now we're organized according to departments also. Let me see here. Thank you.